Hey, I just want to start by saying hello and welcome. I am so proud of you for taking control of your fitness and searching for more, even though you probably don't feel like fitness is your favorite thing right now. I totally get it. I just want to say how much I know you. I know that you've tried tons of things. I know you've dieted hard and you've lost weight and you've put the weight back on. I know that, maybe you've had a child and your body has changed since having that child. I know that when you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. I know that the thoughts that run through your head are mean and negative, and you live in a reality where you feel a lot of shame around your body. I want you to know that there is a world where you don't have to feel like that. I want to teach you that there is a possibility for you to love yourself, not just be okay with yourself, but truly love yourself, not because you're fit, but because you have controlled your mind. That is my goal, and I am so excited to tell you about it. What I want to talk to you guys today about is the reasons that we fail, the reasons why we have failed in the past, and kind of like the persona that you are that causes you to fail. Some of you may see yourself in a couple different ones, but usually we have one persona that really takes control and causes us the failure in our life that we see consistently. Let's learn about ourselves and work with ourselves instead of against ourselves so that we can truly see wins without all the shame. Yeah. All right, here we are. The first person I'm going to talk about is Avery the Avoider. If you are Avery the Avoider, you may say things like, I really want to be fit. I want it so bad. I want to go on vacation, or I want to be a person who plays piano. Like, you want things. You're excited about the idea of being a person who does that. But you can just never see yourself getting there. You never take the step to actually become that person. And I want to talk a little bit about why you are an avoider. When we avoid things, we aren't avoiding the task. We are avoiding the emotion or thoughts that we have when presented with this bigger goal. For example, let's say you want to start dieting, what you're really afraid of isn't eating the salad. What you're really afraid of is the thoughts about yourself when you're hungry, or if you fail, or if you mess up. Like, you're afraid of not performing to the level that you want. You're afraid of the discomfort of hunger. You're afraid of the thoughts and emotions that are associated with this bigger goal. And in your head, you might not realize that you're doing this, but if you start to really think about the things that you are avoiding, you are then able to pinpoint which thought and emotion you're resisting the most. So ask yourself, okay, if you want to be fit, if you want to be a person who's on a diet or a person who goes for a run every day, what is it about that you are avoiding? What don't you want to feel? Do you not want to feel tired? Do you not want to feel like a failure if you mess up? Do you not want to feel uncomfortable the first time you run and you're not able to, perform at the rate that you wish you could? Really dive into yourself and understand what it is emotionally you don't. Now that you think you know the thought that is pushing you away, that uncomfortable thing, what can we do about it? How do we move on past that fear of discomfort? Let me give you an example. Before I started bodybuilding, I thought to myself, I will never be able to be that lean. People might laugh at me. I'm afraid people are going to think I'm too muscular or think my body's gross. I'm afraid that I won't have enough money to do it at the level that I want. I was afraid of so many thoughts, so many emotions, so many feelings. But thinking and fixating on those thoughts and emotions didn't make me run towards bodybuilding. If anything, it made me run the opposite direction. So instead, I had to replace those thoughts with different thoughts, more neutral thoughts that allowed me to feel a little bit better about that choice to go towards bodybuilding. So for example, I used to sit and, really fixate on the thought, every woman who's on the bodybuilding stage started where I am. Every woman who's on the bodybuilding stage is a regular woman just like me. Every woman who's on the bodybuilding stage is excited for me to join this sport. And when I used to think those thoughts made me feel calm. Those thoughts made me feel excited, accepted, and I chose instead to initiate those thoughts every time I was having the negative thoughts, like, oh, maybe I can't do this, maybe I'll never be lean enough. No, every woman on this stage has learned to be lean like this. I also can learn to be lean like this. Maybe people think I'm gross. I don't think they're gross. I think they're fantastic. So other people are going to think that I'm fantastic. And the thoughts are always going to be different depending on the person. So what I really suggest is come up with a few until you find one that feels right and stick to it. Every time you hear that negative thought come up, you say, no, fuck that. I'm going to use this thought instead. And it's really a choice of just not engaging with that old thought and initiating that new thought on purpose with intention. The last tip for the Avery avoider is truly putting a time frame. If I'm avoiding something and there's no deadline, well, I'm probably just not going to do it. Let's say I need to get my teeth cleaned. I don't really want to call a dentist and get my teeth cleaned and book an appointment. I just don't want to, so I just don't. If I want to make myself do it, I need to put a time frame on it so that I'm forced with a deadline. So if I wake up this morning and I want to get my dental appointment done, I say to myself, I will call a dentist before noon today. Before noon today, I will call a dentist. That is forcing me to do it within a time frame. It is setting a goal, it is setting a limit, and it is making me take action. So if you're avoiding fitness, don't just say, I want to be fit. I want to be fit and I'm going to start today, or I'm going to start on Friday. I'm going to start on this exact day. And when you put that time frame on it, everything changes because you've made that intention and you need to follow through. Let's talk about the failure persona number 2. This is Negative Nancy. Negative Nancy has a fun name, but Negative Nancy is someone that really thinks that they are going to succeed by hating themselves, that maybe they can hate themselves enough to work harder. And I used to spend a lot of my time being Negative Nancy and thinking, if I hate myself enough, I will make better choices with food. I'll make better choices with fitness. I said alcohol, but I guess alcohol too. I used to be the kind of person who would go for a run because I was mad at the way I looked. Or, if I ate something, I would be so ashamed and angry and maybe even have tears because how dare I be hungry when I look horrible, right? And I would live in this, anger with myself for how I let myself go, and I would just drive from the anger of self-hatred. And let me tell you that self-hatred will never, ever get you to your goals. If anything, it will only reinforce in your mind that the journey towards your goals is uncomfortable and excruciating, and it will drive you the opposite direction. So listen to me here. If you are Negative Nancy, if you drive yourself with hate, you will never succeed doing this. Ever. Ever. Okay? So what can we do to break free from that and really step in to our positive or our neutral? This is one thing I like to teach a lot. Not always do we need to try and strive for positive. Because let's face it, if we're in Negative Nancy, we are feeling pretty shitty about ourselves. So pretending to be positive about ourselves is a lie, and our brain knows it's a lie, and it's just going to reject that too. We need to be neutral. So let's say I'm constantly getting angry at myself for being hungry and eating food. A neutral thought I could think is, every human on earth needs food to survive. or there's an amount of calories that is necessary for my body, or hunger is normal. See, those thoughts aren't like, oh, I'm like happy that I'm like this. It's like, I'm not happy that I'm like this, but I can be neutral. I can say to myself that the science is that I'm going to be hungry and it's normal. Try and find a way to take yourself back from that I'm a good or a bad person because I'm fit or not fit, and really make it about just base science, normal, neutral things that allows you to at least step away from that negative and on your way to becoming positive. Even if positive is way down the road for you, neutral feels better than negative, I promise. Another great thing to do if you are a negative Nancy right now is really learn to celebrate small victories. Truly celebrate when you are doing what you've asked yourself to do. For example, if I set my goal today to get on the treadmill and run for 30 minutes, and I get to the treadmill, I'm going to stop and say to myself, I am proud of myself for showing up. Regardless of how this run goes on the treadmill, I am so proud of myself for showing up to this treadmill. And when we encourage ourselves, when we allow ourselves to be proud and thankful for what we've done, that really will drive you to have a better workout on that treadmill. Rather than getting that treadmill and looking in the mirror and thinking, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a fat fuck, I'm not even going to be able to run 30 minutes, look at everyone around me who's so fit, like I bet everyone's laughing at me, that does not make you run faster. Let me tell you, that makes you want to leave and hide. And being negative like that, I promise you, will make you run away in the opposite direction of fitness. You need to find those small victories, those little tidbits where you can say, I'm here and I'm proud of my work that I've done today, whether it's showing up to the treadmill, whether it's completing a workout, whether it's eating your meal plan, it's I am proud that I did this. I am really proud. And finding times to be proud kills the negativity. It squashes it, like it just kills it. Little bits of pride here and there change everything. All right, Negative Nancy, I believe in you. Next up on the list of our failure personas is Diet Detention Diane. Let me tell you a little bit about Diet Detention Diane. Diet Detention Diane is the mean parent and also the screaming toddler. It is the persona of wanting to do something and telling yourself no. It's saying, I really want to eat ice cream. And the other voice saying, you cannot, you absolutely must not, you are the worst if you eat ice cream. And then the other part saying, I really want ice cream, it's all I want. And you play this game of restrictor and restricted. And this inner conflict of wanting things, feeling this mass shame for the want, telling yourself no in a very strong way, and then rebelling against yourself again and doing it. When we are doing this, it is creating a very strong sense of distrust in our own ability to succeed. When we are the restrictor and the restricted, we don't know who we are. We want to be one way, but we feel like we are the other way. No matter how hard that restrictor slams his fist down, we keep seeming to fail. And the problem is truly in, wanting to restrict constantly, not having any room for allowance. So let me tell you a little bit about how we can remove ourselves from being that detention restrictor, that punisher, and really be able to have that true give and take that life requires. So let's talk a little bit about allowance. Allowance really is allowing yourself to make a choice. And this can become a real issue for people who have, a lot of issues with hurting people's feelings or, that fear of missing out, wanting to be included. Let me give you an example. Let's say it's your friend's birthday tonight okay, and you are on a diet and you're trying to better yourself because you have a vacation next week and you want to look great on your vacation, and your friend says to you, I want you to come eat chicken wings and beer with me. That's my birthday wish. That's all I want. And the other part of you says, okay, I want to be a really good friend and I want to do what she's asking, but I also want to not do that because I have this vacation next week that I really want to look good for and I'm dieting. So you kind of hit this split in the road where you must make a choice, okay? And here is what I want you to say to yourself is, I am allowed to choose either. And either choice does not make me a bad person. If I choose to stay on my diet and not go to my friend's birthday, that is a choice that I'm making. That doesn't mean anything about me. Doesn't make me a bad friend. It just makes me a person who made that choice to better themselves. And if I choose to go hang out with my friend and eat chicken wings and drink beer, that is also a choice. And again, it doesn't mean that you're a good friend or a bad dieter or a good dieter. It's just a choice that you need to make. What happens so often is you're in this part of your brain where I'm on a diet, and you go to a restaurant with your friend anyway. And you haven't made a choice about what you're going to do. You just want to avoid eating badly. And you show up to this restaurant and you're unprepared and you don't know what to do. And you panic and people pressure you to drinking this beer and you drink it and then you feel like shit. You're like, I can't believe that I did this, right? So the true, skill that you need to develop is choosing before, having that allowance before you go to the restaurant. So let's say I'm going to the restaurant and I say to myself, what am I going to do? How am I going to show up at this restaurant? What choices do I want to make? So before I go to a restaurant, I say to myself, I'm going to have a limit of 3 beers and I'm only going to eat 1 pound of chicken wings. So I'm allowing myself to enjoy my time with my friend, but I'm putting a parameter on it. I'm not going and saying, fuck it, I've ruined my diet, fuck it, start again Monday. No, it's allowing myself to be a person, even though I'm on a diet, and putting constraints on myself that are reasonable and manageable for me so that I can show up for my friend and still have a good time and still honor my diet. Do you see what I'm saying? So much of this is pre-planning and pre-choosing how you want to show up in that moment. That is how you succeed from diet detention. All right, let's talk about Mary the Marathoner. If you are Mary the Marathoner, you are a hardcore bitch. You are the kind of bitch who says, I will run the marathon. I will get first place. I am going to run every single day, twice a day, eat only air for dinner, and I will be number 1. And the amazing thing about Mary the Marathoner is she wants to. She has this drive. She has this energy to take on these new tasks. But the problem with Mary is that she does not like to fail. And at the smallest glimpse of failure, she backs out. She is all or nothing. She is, I will run 5 times a day or I will never run again. I will eat perfectly. I will weigh all my food. I will count my macros. But if I go to McDonald's once, I've failed everything and I need to start again on Monday and I've ruined everything. So one thing I want to say to Mary is you are a start again Monday kind of girl. You are the kind of girl who, if you are on, you're on. If you're off, you're off. You live in your body the whole time. Your body doesn't start and stop. Your body doesn't go like, okay, it's the weekend and now it's Monday. No, your body is constantly doing the same shit. You're putting food in, you're moving around. It is always moving and working with you. So there is no start and stop. You really need to get into your mind that if you make a mistake, let's say you ate a row of Oreos, okay? You've eaten a row of Oreos. You don't have to say fuck it. You don't have to say you've ruined your diet. You don't have to start again. All you need to do is continue. It is keep going. That is how you kill Mary the Marathoner, is you need to say to yourself, I made a single choice against my program, and the next choice I make can either be towards my goals or away from my goals again. Every moment, every choice is an opportunity for you to go towards those goals or for you to go away from those goals. And saying fuck it for the whole weekend is ridiculous. Why would you do that? You have the power to choose right now to go back the other direction. There is no reason why you must throw your hands in the air and say, I quit, because you made one human choice towards cookies. So if you are an all or nothing kind of girl, you run or you never run again, if you eat on track or you start again Monday, listen to me here. One mistake is just a mistake. It doesn't need to be a habit. Allow yourself to shove it under the rug and keep going. Pretend like it didn't happen. Keep going. Never start again Monday. Starting again Monday is a lie. Don't do it. All right, let's talk about the last failure persona, and that is Deborah the Drifter. And let me tell you, so many of you are Deborah the Drifter. Let me explain Deborah. Deborah has eaten salad all week. She's like, I'm doing this. I am dieting. I have gone to the gym. I am doing my thing, feeling good, motivated, not crazy, just doing it. But then Friday night comes and husband says, do you want pizza? And Deborah says, yes, I want pizza. Then Deborah eats pizza. Deborah remembers how delicious pizza is. Deborah eats lots of pizza. Deborah then wakes up the next morning, might have cold pizza for breakfast, and thinks to herself, maybe I'll just not diet today, because that was pretty fun eating pizza. So then she eats her salad for lunch, and then at dinner time, husband's like, hey, do you want extra fries with your dinner? And Deborah's like, yeah, I like fries. I ate a salad for lunch. Deborah eats fries. Then Deborah's like, I feel like shit for my fries. I'm not going to work out. I'm just going to work out tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Deborah does not work out again because she's feeling crappy from the day before, and she just slowly drifts away from her fitness life back into her old life. And all of a sudden she thinks to herself, wait, I was on a diet last week, and I guess I must have said fuck it at one point, and when was the last time I ate a salad? Well, I guess I'm back to square one. Deborah the Drifter is so common. Deborah the Drifter, she just gets reminded of the good life, and she just loses herself. Let me tell you how we contain Deborah the Drifter. We contain Deborah the Drifter by adding constraint, okay? Let me explain constraint. Constraint is all about the follow-through in those moments of weakness. Let me explain. Okay, so if I am starting my bodybuilding and I'm going into my prep, I can't just be like, I'm probably going to eat healthy for a couple weeks and then I'll have the body of my dreams. It's not how it works. It's perfectly calculated. It is intense. It is tracked. It is planned. It is all those things. And when I'm in my bodybuilding diet, there are times when I do not want to eat fish and asparagus for lunch. Let me tell you how much I don't always want to eat that. This is where constraint really comes in. It comes in the form of pre-making a choice about what you're going to do when that situation arises. And where Deborah gets really askew is Deborah will hit this moment of discomfort of being like, I don't want to eat this food, so I'm just going to eat this other thing that I really, really like to eat. And that's the mistake. It is saying, oh, this uncomfortable thing that I don't want to do, I'm going to replace it with this thing that I really like to do, like a slice of pizza or whatever. And constraint, how we really counteract that is choosing that the original thing, no matter what, is going to happen, and the other thing is still in the air. Let me explain that. So if I have this fish and asparagus for lunch and I don't want to eat it, I'm like, this is disgusting. I really want to eat pizza that's in the break room. I have constraint and I say, I will no matter what eat this. But when I'm done eating this, then I have the choice to eat the pizza. But I will not replace my lunch that I've chosen to eat with pizza. Pizza is secondary to what I've chosen. Let's talk about this in terms of exercise. Let's say I plan to go to the gym this morning at 7 a.m., okay? And 7 a.m. rolls around and I'm up and I'm like, I really just want to go back to bed. Like, I don't want to exercise. I am not going to just go back into my bed, give in, and say, I'm going to do this fun thing that I want instead of going to the gym. I'm going to say that hour that I set aside, no matter what, is going to be used for my fitness. Whether I walk, whether I stretch, whether I do some crunches, no matter what, I'm going to do fitness in that hour because that is what I've chosen ahead of time. And I will not replace it with something that's fun and comfortable and exciting, because then I'm just creating this crazy imbalance in my choices and my wants, right? I have chosen ahead of time, I will exercise at 7. So if at bare minimum, I don't want to do anything, I'm going to sit in a chair and stare at a freaking wall before I'm going to go back to bed, or before I'm going to lay down on watch TV because I chose this time to be for me and my goals. And that's when you got to get really serious. And it's not like an angry thing. It's just a thing where it's like, I've made this decision and I fucking sure as shit am going to follow through that decision, regardless of the fun thing that is the option that can come after. That is an option for me still. But that's not an option for me at 7 when I've chosen to exercise. That is how you break free, by using constraint. And I highly, whether you failed once or a million times like me, I just want you to know that failure is normal and human, and knowing who you are is the best way to counteract failing again. Don't fight who you are. Know who you are and work with it. If you know you're a nighttime snacking kind of girl, don't try and never eat food after dinner. Just eat healthy food after dinner, or eat less food during the day so that you have food after. Work with yourself, not against yourself. Failure is normal, but let's conquer it and really turn a new chapter in our story where we find success. All right, ladies, that is all for me. I hope that this has been full of amazing information and quick, actionable tips for you guys. I am so excited to connect and get to know you guys better. Have a great one.